Hey, my honeys. What? What lace? Oh, this whole thing? It's not a lace. There's no lace here, y'all. But anyway, that is not the point. Okay, so the point of today is, you know I'm going to swing this hair all day. It's for my moms out there. I know I got a lot of subbies that's about to have babies. And I'm so excited for y'all. Like, okay, all our babies would just be growing up together. That is beautiful, don't you think? I wanted to do a breastfeeding one-on-one today, okay? Because I know there's a lot of question about it, and I am personally going through it. I have been through the beginning stages, and then I'm here now. My baby is 3 months, little KJ, and yes, he is still being breastfed. I'm going to breastfeed all the way until I'm 9 months. So I was originally going to breastfeed until KJ was 1 year old. But I thought about that, like, listen, he's not about to be no grown man running up on me and talk about come on, it's time. What you gonna do? So I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. But at this point, if you pump enough milk, you know, because you can't start giving them regular milk until they're 12 months. So if you pump enough milk from that 9-month mark to the 12-month mark, you will be fine. You could continue to give your baby breast milk, and then at some point he'll get the regular milk. You may still have enough breast milk if you pump it right, and you know you could just keep giving them the breast milk until it's gone. So, and you could keep breast milk in a bag frozen for 7 to 9 months, and you could keep it in the refrigerator for about 3 to 5 days. So if you're not about to use it in a couple hours, don't keep that milk in there no 3 to 4 days. You don't know the temperature of the refrigerator and how it's really going down in there. So you really want to be sure that your baby is drinking good milk, not nothing that's on the urge of spoiling. So no, we ain't doing that. If you're not going to use it in a few hours, throw it in the freezer. Please and thank you. For me personally, yeah, I would probably... I haven't got to 7 to 9 months yet, but the bags that I would have had stored already, I would have been to the point where they're dated. I had bought a box of bags that came with 100 in them. So I have 4 bags like this in there. 25 per these bags made 100. And then it just has a whole bunch of other bags in there. So these are the actual storage bags, right? So this is what I had left in baby KJ's diaper bag that didn't get burnt up. So all I got at this point is these 25 bags. But that's fine. It's not even 25 because I have been using them. So I took them out with me, and if need be, if I needed to pump or something, I would have a few bags. So this is the bag. You will put baby KJ's name, or you put your little precious name down there, then the date of when you stored it, and then the amount of milk. Now, I never worried about the amount of milk to put on there because it didn't really matter. When you went to pour it in that bottle, it was what it was. But typically, these things will hold 6 ounces. So 6 ounces of, is what they would say if you filled it up right there, I guess. I was filling them up here, okay? I was filling these bags up. I wanted to be sure. I wanted it to be enough. I didn't want to waste no milk. I was having so much milk produced at one time. I don't got time to be wasting no bag with no half-filled bag, okay? So, yeah, these bags were perfect. And what I would have done was started using the dates that was closer to him being at birth, because those are the oldest. So, from oldest to new is how you would use your bags. And if you're pumping and all of that, you're going to be adding on top of those bags. So organization is key. They will overpower your freezer. They will take over everything. So that's that on the bag. Hopefully I can leave it somewhere around here, a picture of it. But I had that particular pump. So at this point, you know, I had no pump. It's gone or whatever. So they sent me this one. It's called Natural something, something, something. But this is how it looks. So now I can get back to what I started, okay? I'm just like, yes. So I'm going to just speak for experience, because this is, you know, I breastfed with my daughter, but it was only for like 1 month. And then I was out of there. Like, okay, I did enough. But no, you wanna do more. Now we're old. Well, I'm older and I know more about it. And it's like, yeah, it's a need be. I have a boy. And if y'all ain't experiencing it, these boys are so out of control right now. They are so crazy. They are so influenced by the music or just what anybody tell them. That's dumb to me. Like, they don't have a brain. So with that being said, I want my son to have a brain. I want him to think of a consequence before he do anything stupid. I want him to think of a business plan, a master plan before he just go out and do stuff. Think of the outcome and stuff like that. So I wanted him to be very smart in this messed up world. So that's exactly why I just chose to go full throttle with the breastfeed. So you come from the hospital, well, you have your baby and you're breastfeeding like one-on-one. Ain't no bottles, ain't no none of that. Your breast is not producing milk. It's producing a serum. It's real sweet. It's not even like a milk substance. It's just, you know, sticky, like a sticky little thing. That lasts for a few days to a week, you know. They're drinking on that, and then you start producing milk. You start producing milk. It's only going to produce as much as your baby demands. So if your baby is not crying for milk, and, you know, he's only sucking once or twice here and there, every hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, it's depending on him or, you know, her. It's depending on the baby. So your body and your breast knows how much milk to make for your baby. For my moms who's going back to work or however, and you need to hurry up and get pumping, you know, and get milk stored and all of that. Personally, the doctor tells you do not pump no milk. Don't pump. Don't do this. Let your baby feed. He's a new baby. You get to know your baby. You need skin time. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's all good, fine, and dandy. Not that you will not be doing all of that, but, you know, you may have to get back to work. I got to pump. I don't have all day. I don't got all day. So with that being said, you know, you start pumping, right? Now this pump ain't doing nothing but squeezing and sucking on them nipples as if your baby was doing that. So now it's like your body thinks that the baby is like in demand, high demand for milk. Oh my God, this baby is thirsty. Like, come on, give me some more milk. So now your body is dushing and making that milk like, you know, because you're feeding him on top of pumping. That's a big deal to this body. And this body is going to make so much milk, produce so much milk for that baby. These little bags, honey, they're going to be filled. You're going to be going through them. It's going to get overpowering. If you're not on top of it, you're going to be sleep waking up in puddles of milk. You just a spoiled little carton of milk walking around. Like, because you're always leaking. If you feeding them on one side, this side is going to leak on its own. Just like I want to be leaked out too. Like, so it's just like, so to be prepared, that's what you have me for. So in the case of you come home from the hospital, you're breastfeeding, and you're just feeding your baby and you're not pumping, that's fine. You know, feed your baby as normally. When he's fussing or hungry or nodding at them hands and doing all of that, he's hungry, feed him. You're going to know as a mommy when your little baby is hungry. Trust and believe that. So, you know, you just feed them as regularly. Now, I've heard some moms say, oh, it doesn't seem like my milk is producing or my milk is coming out enough for the baby, or it's not that much milk coming, you know, and like it's drying up or something. And that's not the case. Your breast will never dry up. As long as that baby is sucking, is always going to be milk in there, period.com. If you go to squeeze your nipple and then the milk just like, it doesn't spray, but it's, you see it like come out, it's milk in there. And to activate it and get it going, that baby does that. He gets on there and sucks it out of there and gets however much he needs. So at that point, if it's like not in demand coming out, they may feed a little longer. You know what I'm saying? They may feed for 20 whole minutes versus if it was milk that's a constant flow, they won't even need to feed for 5 because it's coming out quicker. So think of like a baby bottle with a nipple. The hole is so small that it's spraying. You got to squeeze it to get up out of there, right? But if you cut a little hole in there, it's going to come out flow naturally fast. So that's pretty much how your actual nipple is. Like if it's not in high demand, It's just that little small hole. You got to squeeze it out of there. But if it's like going, you can't even control it. It's just squirting everywhere out of there. So it's going to come out. When you go on to pump or however, which if you're not going back to work and you're not worried about that, and you can sit there and hold your baby all day and feed him whenever he's hungry, you ain't got to worry about pumping no milk and doing all of that. And use a damn lie. Get you some bags, honey, because that ain't no joke when you got to run to the grocery store or you got at least a good hour to go do something else other than be with the baby for right now. And you got, you know, somebody to sit there or the dad gonna be there, and that baby got to eat. So wherever you go and think you're about to go, you have to be back. You got to hurry it up because he's going to be hungry anytime now. Like, so that's aggravating. You want to be able to let that baby have as much time with everyone else he needs to other than yourself, you know. So he's going to be with mommy all the time. That's a given. But if he off with dad somewhere, you know, they shouldn't have to cut their time short because, you know, you didn't pump and you don't have a bag for dad to stop in the middle of what they're doing to feed him. So that's where breast pumps come in handy. So they're in handy when you're going back to work and you have an extra milk store, or when you do mommy errands, okay? Mommy needs some time sometimes. Mommy needs a breather. So, boop, I got some bags here, y'all go. I'll see y'all later. If you're to the point where you're pumping and your breast is leaking out of control, you just need to pump it. You need to pump your breast. You need to go get up somewhere. They're full, they're hard. They gotta be if they're leaking, you know. And you get up and you go pump them and your breast will be just fine, you know. So you know when to pump them breasts because your chest up here, this is my chest. This is breast. All of this be full like a baseball. It be big, it probably don't be big or whatever, but it does. It's flat now. I don't really have flat chest. Like, my chests are perky, nice and perky. But still, this is the flat part right now of the chest. And this part will be lifted up. And to the point where it's like, I have boob jobs because they just sitting so damn up to my chin pretty. But that means that that milk in there is overflowing. It has made more than enough milk and it's steady making it. The reason why at this point it's going to get sore, it's going to hurt because it has no exit. It has nowhere to go. Your baby ain't sitting there feeding on it. You might as well go and pump that out of there. Like, get it out of there while it's not painful for you. You know, you have to get it out of there so it does not hurt you. And once you got that out of there, you got time before it will make more, because eventually it's going to keep making it like that. It's going to keep coming and flowing and coming and going. You know what I'm saying? So the only time that you're not going to be able to catch it is at night when you're asleep and you sitting there waking up in puddles of milk like, oh my God, you know. But I was so lazy. I didn't feel like getting up to do all that. So I'll try to lay a towel down just because I knew at some point it was going to have a little leakage. No, says that didn't work. It went straight through the towel bed. It was still spoiled milky. You got to get up and pump it. That's how you're going to store milk after milk after milk after milk. And you will have tons and tons and tons of milk to go and to store. And, you know, people buy milk. Get into it. So it had got to the point where I had these, they were breast cups. So it was a cup with a hole right in the center of it. You would stick the nipple in there and then it would just hug onto the breast like that. The way you emptied it was you would just pour it like that. You know what I'm saying? So cups for me was the best thing ever. Like, okay, boop, put the cup on there, especially when you're feeding on one side. This side is leaking. The cup, you put it there, it's going to catch all that. We don't waste no milk. Very petty. Ain't wasting no milk. By the time that cup filled up, you know, I pour it in the bag. Boop. I just kept that cup there all day, for real. And poured in the bag. And now I'm walking through the house, cleaning up, doing my daily dues. That cup is sitting there. And then I will forget and lean over and something is falling over my foot wet. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, damn, I forgot the cup was in there. I done wasted all of these milk. I think the cup held at least about a good 4 to 5 ounces. Maybe 3 to 4 ounces of milk. And that's a big deal to be just losing milk. Like, I would be so mad and livid. Like, That baby sleep, I'm busy. I want to get stuff done before he wake up instead of sleeping while he sleep and get my same rest and all of that. So I was backwards with it. So when he was up, I was tired. When he was asleep, it was just like, ugh. So if I had took the time to just lay there and relax myself, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have spilled and wasted milk. But either way it go, I had the cup. And I was wasting that all over the damn house. So the whole house was just a spoiled mess. But it didn't stink or nothing. But you just know how it be. Like, you know when your baby is hungry because your breasts tingle and they start, either they're hurting or either they're, and this hurt is not like a, you want to kill yourself suicide hurt. It's just a hurt like, other than the norm. And you're like, what's going on? And when you put your baby on, it's like relieving that. And you're like, So that's how you know the baby is hungry, because something going wrong with these breasts. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, you could be at the store and the baby at home. And your breasts get to doing this weird stuff. Like, what is going on? But that baby's hungry at home waiting on you. But you got bags and you got bottles. So even though he's not waiting on you, technically, your body is still saying that, okay, it's time to feed. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, too, some mothers carry a pump of some sort with them, because you still got to get that out of there. So whether you're going to give it to the baby or not, you got to get it out of there, because then it's going to, you know, just add and pile in there, and then it's going to be hurting. And basically that's just, you know, that milk has fat in it. The milk has fat in it, and the fat is perfect for the baby, but at this point, your breast is so full that that pain is that fat that cannot get through to the little milk ducts. Like, it can't get through, so it's blocking the damn milk ducts, because all you got to do is go relieve it and feed your baby or pump it out. But since you're just letting it pile and add up, it can't get through, so it's blocking the whole demonstration. It's painful. That hurts. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to hurry up and get to the nearest pump. Like, do they have a nearest pump around here in the bathroom or something? Like, and you know they don't. So it's like you're either about to go through that struggle or you're going to carry that pump. Now, let me show you one that I did get. Mind y'all, I just reordered this because it was a necessity. It was need be, and I had ordered it then and it burnt up. So it was a good thing that I knew exactly what to get, because I would have just been like, I don't know what all I had. But it comes in a suction thing like this, because y'all probably looking at this like, what the heck is that? So when I bust it open, boop, it popped on. I just made a little hole at the top. It went from that to that. So to go ahead and bust it open, this thing here, perfect. Right? This is a quick fix for when you're out in public and you got things going on and you're not with that baby, honey. You better always carry this on with you, and a few bags all the time. But you will squeeze this, place it onto the nipple, and then release it. At this point, it's just sucking on that nipple. The nipple that went deeper in there like that, and now that milk is just draining in here. This thing holds 4 ounces. So you got the milk just draining out that breast, relieving mom, because mom, you're the one going through it, not the baby. So this thing is perfect. And then, you know, you're out in public at this point, if that's the case. You will pour whatever's in here in the bag, lock it low, rinse this on out. It comes with a top. They got different styles of these too, guys. If you're at home and you are feeding baby on this side, but you know this side at this point is going to leak, you squeeze this thing, squeeze it on up, place it on this side, release it. Whatever was going to leak is going to squeeze out now into this, and that's going to save her some more milk. When this is full, you put it right on in the bag, keep it moving. But you may still be feeding baby over here. That's why I thought about the top. Because now this is full, this is done, that breast is relieved, it ain't going nowhere, it's cool, it ain't even leaking no more. I could put the top on, set it, and forget it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about them flying in my baby's milk and doing all of that. So that's how I felt about that. That's why I personally wanted the one with the top. I figured I was clumsy Because, you know, when you were pregnant, you were very clumsy. That's a well-known fact. So I figured I was clumsy, probably even after the baby, who knows. And I've been to knock this over. And I have a top to save that. But I don't think that the top is really good for real. Not on this one. This is like a generic one. I didn't order the real deal Holyfield. Actually, I got 2 of them for $15. You know, they serve the same purpose. Yo, if y'all know me by now, you know I'm not the one that just would try to be all high price with things sometimes. I try to, it's cheaper to keep, you know. So I just try to see what's going on with it. And if it's not as good, I may have to go and purchase the real deal Holyfield. So what do you do if you pump your breast all out? Baby's taking a nap, you sit there, you pump, and you pump everything out your breast. Would you think that you have to wait a while to feed baby because the milk has to come back? Like you pumped everything out of there? No, you didn't. It's never an empty situation, ever. Never, never, never. You may get to a point where you got it under control now. You know, you got all your little items you need. You got your bags going. You know what hour to pump. You know this and that. You got everything, you know, one to where it's like everything is under control. You're not leaking all over the place, you know. So, with that being said, you're pumping and then baby wake up right after you pump. You're like, oh my God, I just pumped. I don't got no more milk in there. You do. Your breasts always have milk in there. The reason that you would think there was no milk in there is because you're so used to it leaking. You're so used to it hurting, or you're so just used to this, that, and the third, when basically it should have never got that bad because it's other things around that you can do not to let it get to that point. So now that you have it under control, it's not getting to that point anymore. And the minute that you fall off, you know it's serious because it done got back to that point. You're leaking everywhere and it's a mess. And you know, like, oh shit, I done fell off, let me get back on. So that's what really be going on. So you just got it under control. You ain't got to worry about it. Like, you got it under control. And it's always milk in there. So baby's going to eat regardless. You could have been just pumped 2 seconds later, put that baby on there. It's always a flow with your milk coming. You're good. Don't worry about nothing. It's okay. Keep feeding baby how you feed baby. So don't get discouraged and then say, okay, it ain't that much milk coming out. I'm just going to stop. Just keep going with it. He's going to eat. Look at me right now. Everything we had was burnt in the fire. So we had no breast pump. We had no nothing. I couldn't leave baby KJ nowhere. I had to take him everywhere with me. So it made it even harder, you know. And that's why I think God really blessed me the way that he did, y'all, is because I had it harder. I had a newborn. It's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're homeless. You know, I can't pump milk and do that. I need to go look at houses. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. And I had to bring my baby along. So I had nothing to actually stay on board of what I was doing. So, of course, I'm not leaking anywhere because my body has went all the way back down to what baby eats. Like, you know, it makes enough for him. And I know when he's hungry because they still do their little craziness, whatever they do. So, it when that happens, you know, I just feed him accordingly. And now we in our home, so I feed him more often. Like, you know, he been just ate 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes later, he's fussing. You're dry, you're loved, you're fed. What are you possibly crying for? So just like that mother that would just throw the bottle in her mouth, shut it up, here you go. That's me. Flop up. I'm just throwing it in there like that's the only thing that he's quiet on. So there you go, take that. And that's just how we've been winging it, you know. So now it's to the point where even though we was homeless for a minute, I never stopped doing hair. I never stopped doing what I had to do to get money. So I had to go do hair with him with me, and y'all would never believe that I was doing hair with him on my lap. Like, he'd be laying on my lap and I'm braiding braids down. And he's sitting there playing in the hair, or at least drowning in it. Like, damn, why we get all this hair out of my face? It was nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? I had to do what I had to do. I had no milk storage. The breast pumps comes in handy. That's what I'm telling y'all. Please have that breast milk ready on deck in that freezer. So when mom has mommy time, that baby's fed and everything's just fine, you know. So I got a pump, y'all. That's all I know. My pump finally came. I have not yet used it because I still been home with baby. I've been trying to make videos and get them out to y'all. I've been supposed to make this video, you know. But it's never too late because I still breastfeed. So I almost thought for a minute that I wasn't making that much milk no more and all of that because it wasn't leaking. It wasn't like spoiledness everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, what's going on? You know, I don't want my baby on no processed milk. I do not. So with that being said, it's been just fine. And I've noticed that he went from feeding to like for 20 minutes to feeding to only 5. Like he'll feed for 5 minutes and he's done. And he makes like a weird noise when he is full. Like he still want to be drinking, but he like, like he can't breathe. You know how you get so full that you can't breathe? Like you like, whoo. Just chewing, knowing you full. Just stop. What are you doing? When he's hungry and he gets on, he latches on, he's like this. And he's eating. And he's like this. And another way you will know when they're done is he relaxes now. So he like this. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's satisfied. Like, and then he get to doing some other weird stuff. Like he'll probably just get himself off. Like it'll just pop off of there. He's full, you know. So I let him eat till he's done. I don't rush it. I don't, you know. I say he started with 20 minutes, went to 5 minutes. It depends on your baby. Your baby may want to eat the day for 30 minutes. Who knows, you know. So don't cheat him. Treat him. Because that's what I used to think too was, oh my God, I'm not feeding my baby properly. He's not really growing and da-da-da-da-da. You know, most babies be chunky and fat. But as we all know and see now, that baby is getting chunky. Yes, he is. And I'll just be eating him up over rice. You know, because, you know, we Black and East over here. So I eat my baby up over rice. And, you know, he's chunky now. So he's 3 months. I guess it's overdue. It's about time. But I really took that as I was not feeding him enough, this, that, and the third. So my conclusion to that was, okay, I will feed him I'll let him feed for however long, 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever. And then, but like I said, he don't go over 5 at some point. Like he'll just probably feed for a good 5 to 8 minutes. And then he'll be cool, doing that little weird noise and breathing all extra heavy and all that. 10 minutes later, you know, he's almost a little bit fussy still. What are you fussing for? You just ate. That was my thing. So I'm just passying him to death. Hey, give him a passy, give him a passy, give him a passy. When technically, you know, we've been to ate or drunk something and then we feel full and then we probably have a nice good burp, you know. That air was sitting in there helping your belly be filled and make you feel full, make you feel it, but you're not. You know, your mind knows like you are still hungry. So by the time, you know, that 5 minutes was up and I'll sit there and then I'll burp baby KJ and he's back fussy, he's still hungry. Like now that burp got out of there. It's like the stomach is back to on E for real and I want some more food. So I started feeding him 5 minutes, boom. Burp him. He'll chill, laugh, kiki, and then he started back getting agitated, fussy. Boom, I feed him some more. He cool, and when I mean cool, he be cool for hours. If I let it go that long, you know what I'm saying? But he will be cool. He will be chilling. He'll go ahead and go to sleep for a long time, this and that. So 9 out of 10 as a breastfeeder, if your baby is still cranky and he's still something ain't right, but everything's done, you know, he's dry, he's fed, he's comfortable, he's still hungry. So just feed him. Because we don't know how much is coming out of that nipple. We don't know how much is actually coming out unless we're pumping. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a pump to know. I just had to wing it and figure it out for myself, which basically he was still hungry. So now I start feeding him every second. I don't care what was going on. And now he's chunky. So he's probably overfed. Who cares? He's obese. He ain't obese yet, but hopefully he gets obese because I just would love to see that. And then, you know, when they turn 1 and 2, they all ripping and running. They going to lose all that weight anyway. But who don't want no chunky baby? That leakage, though, it gets serious, you know what I'm saying? And that's the most probably embarrassing part is to be out in public somewhere and you got this leakage and you don't know. You will not know. You know, unless you feel the wind blowing, it's something cold and you look and, oh, okay, I'm leaking. But you won't know. Somebody will probably tell you before you know. Like, hey, you got something there on your shirt. Like, duh. Like, you know, you want to get an attitude about it because they seen it. But, oh, well, it is what it is. The sun will shine another day. Who cares? I done leaked. Make it leak. Make it leak. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, who cares? Now, you could go get them breast pads. So it's about that size, you know. Get them breast pads. Sit them over the nipple while you're out and about. When those things get saturated, it's going to leak through that too. Don't even let that bother you. So you got to pump. You got to feed. You got to get that milk out of there and release it because it's going to come out regardless and it's got to go somewhere. So it's not a refrigerator. It's not going to just sit in there and be okay. It's going to come out, period.com. I want to say my baby is super smart already. Now, we already know he was lifting that head up when he was 24 hours. Like, hey, I'm here. What's going on? So, at this point, 2 months, he was already, you holding him, and he's still just like that. He's so nosy that he holding that head forever. He may get a little lazy at some point, like, whew, okay, that's long enough, but he's holding his head for the most part. Now, you know, I don't really know what the babies do at certain ages or whatever, but he lays there and he looks at his hands like this. Like he's playing and looking at his hands. And he's teething. And like all this stuff is just coming and is this even your time? Like, what's going on? Like, he's a very smart baby. And he's like a super baby. And I love that because that lets me know that he's going to be a smart guy and make better decisions. You done left the hospital, you're feeding. I'm trying to stay on track. You left the hospital, you're feeding. Your breast is making milk now for the baby regularly for him only until you pump. And then it's going to make more and more and more milk. And then you're going to be sitting there with an overflow of milk. Then you get on track with it. You learn it. You know what I'm saying? At first, you will be ready to give up. Like, all right, this is just too much. But then you learn how to keep it in track, you know? So you're pumping, you're storing, you're doing what you got to do with that. And then now we know you don't run out of milk. After you pump, it's still milk always in there. It's just not in overdrive at that point. So, you know, you still feeding baby regularly. You still doing what you need to do with that. Babies go through growth spurts. And I forget how I go. I think the growth spurt is 2 weeks to 6 weeks to about probably 2 months to then again 6 months. It is a real thing, guys. Look it up. But it's definitely a whole timeline of when these growth spurts happen. And when the growth spurts is going on, it's a hot mess. You talking about no sleep zone. It's a hot mess. So he went through his first growth spurt at 2 weeks old. It's like the Hawk. They like, oh no, who was that? Godzilla. When you are all good and tired, ready to go get your rest, that baby's going to be up crying all night, going through a growth spurt. All they're doing is communicating with that breast and your body to say, make more milk. I'm growing. I need it. I need it now. I need more milk. I'm not drinking enough out of there. So that's what I mean to say. Don't ever worry about running out of milk because your baby and your body, that's not even your body at this point. All he doing is telling that body to make some more milk and they like this. Okay, they besties. So you just the one that's just got to carry on through all this. And you're tired and you're just like out of it. Hot mess, coffee, all that. But the baby's going through that growth spurt. It happens at night, and he get the fussing, and you feed him, and you give him his passy, and you do all that you could do, and it's just the fuss. And then that baby's sitting there sleeping somewhere good all day. You can't stand to sleep all day because you got to get things done around the house because the baby is asleep. I got a little time, the baby sleep. So you've been up all night. Now you've been up all day. And then the process goes on and on because at night you're trying to go to sleep again. Here he comes. So it's like you gonna be a night hawk. You're gonna have to sleep during the day and be up at night. Like you gotta change your sleeping pattern because his sleeping pattern is all over the place. So they say that lasts for however long it lasts, but it's a real thing and it lasts for however long it lasts. And that right there could be what will put a mother into postpartum depression because she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what's going on. She just think that something's wrong with the baby. She's done all she can do at this point. I'm done. I can't do nothing else. And, you know, here comes that damn depression or whatever. But as a strong mother, you fight through that. You fight through it. You get through it. And then it's over. Like, okay, whew, we finally on the same page. We sleeping. So, yeah, then once it's over with, it's over for a minute. And then when it comes back, I don't know if I really experienced it again. Because I guess probably the older they get, the better it would get anyway. So when it comes back, it's not even a big deal. Like, you know, okay, he's fussing more than usual, but it's not that type where it's keeping you all up at night or whatever. So this is new to your body. This is new to them. So it's like, by the time the second one come around, your body used to it. The baby knows what's going on, so it's not really that bad on mine. I'll say that. Now he's 3 months. He's sleeping through the night, I'll say. He's sleeping all day and all night. He is asleep right now, knocked out. He woke up, we laughed and giggled. I fed him, he's back asleep. So he's got to go to sleep with that passy period. So he's asleep, it falls out his mouth. He's kind of waking up, putting that neck up, looking around for everybody. But then he'll look down, he'll see his passy, and he'll put his face on it, and he'll go right back to sleep. My baby is so smart. And then when he go to sleep and he get the passy in his mouth, let's say he put it in his mouth, he holding his hand like this so it doesn't fall out while he sleep. That baby is smart. Like, he's so damn cute. I don't know what to do, but yeah, he's getting more and more advanced. He's growing up. It could be the breast milk. It could be all of that, but the breast milk is just all for better development. And the development meaning at certain stages of that baby, they get through they got to hit the motor skill stage. They got to hit the, you know, they say the sucking something stage. And this is all from Erickson, I want to call it. You know, just the stages of life or whatever. And they hit all these stages and stuff, you know. So the breast milk kind of help get them stages handled. Like, boom, 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 stage, stage, stage. So it's like his stages is going gorgeously at this point. Like, I see them, they're even coming earlier than what they supposed to be. So that's fine with me. So we already know that next month he'll be in college somewhere. So I ain't even got to worry about it. My job was done. It was pretty easy. Don't ever skip a meal through the night. That's one of those little moments that'll put you off into depression because you got to get up. You're dead tired. It's the middle of the night. You're like, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. You really, it gets bad, you know. But you cannot skip meals through the night. You have to wake the baby up to feed him or he's going to wake you up to get fed. And that's very, very important because at this point, they're developing so fast, you know. They're going to develop fast all the way until they're probably about 1, 2, or 3. And then it starts to slow down, you know, and then you will see another little spurt around maybe 9, 10. And then it slows down till puberty. So, and you know, puberty, like, wow, they get tall, 6'8". So, yeah. But anywho, right now, they're growing fast. Everything is fast-paced in their little bodies. Like, their heart rate is damn near 200. So, it's like, and that's normal for them. So, it's like their body is working. They need that food. They need that for the energy. And not that they are using the energy for anything. Their body is using that energy for everything. So, energy comes from your food, you know, and it needs to be to a point where you can't sleep through a feed. You have to feed your baby whether you know, want to or not. And I say that because it's just been time. He didn't skip a meal at night. You know, he ate. I made sure he ate. So breastfeeding, it takes a lot out of you. Like, literally. It takes, for mom, it burns so many calories. That's why they say, oh, if you breastfeed, you'll lose your stomach. For real. I'd rather keep the damn stomach because you're not just losing no stomach, huh? You're losing everything. I'm talking everything. And for me, sorry to say, as a black woman, I love my curves. I don't play that. I don't even have them, but when I do be thick a little bit, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I never had a flat stomach, and every time I did see myself getting thick, like, I'm thick, is it thick? Is it thick? Like that type of thick. Then I would just be like, oh, okay, but here comes the stomach too. So it's like, it never weighed out. It was always together, but I have a big chest. So the big chest kind of outweighed the, like it'd go like that to where it made the stomach appear flat. And then I had a little butt. Like, this was a couple years ago, y'all. I don't know where it came from. I was thicker than a snicker, okay? And I was just like, what? And you talk about twerk queen. I was twerking on tour, honey. I was somewhere everywhere having me a little twerk going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you walking down the street and you see a mirror coming, you can eye it. If you this type of chick, you can eyeball that mirror coming. Whether it's a mirror, whether it's a window, you knew it was something coming that you could see yourself when you walk by. Guess what? You about to prepare yourself to go on and take a glance at you, ain't you? Correct me if I'm wrong, huh? Do you know now I don't even want to look in the mirror? It's nothing there. It's literally nothing there. Like, that breastfeeding really, really took everything from me. I'm talking everything. I've always been hippie. I've always had hips too. So I would have typically no butt with hips. That outweighed. It was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least it looked good from the front. And then you went to the back. Well, it's all right. But let me see it from the front again type of thing. But no, it was like now I have little baby hips. No. And I still don't have a flat stomach. Once I stop breastfeeding, it'll all come back. I'm not even going to let that bother me. And it'll probably come back tenfold. And it ain't going to know what to do with me, okay? Because it's going to be like I'm going to be thicker than a damn snicker, okay? And I'm going to love it, love it, love it. But everybody else buying it. Can't buy one. If it gets that serious, guys, I will have to go purchase one because I have never been this flat booty. I've never been like this. So I have not ate healthy either, guys, since I had my baby because I seen how skinny I was and I said I have to put these calories back and I got to put a lot of them all at one time so that I can get something back. And yeah, I've been eating crazy just so I could keep up, and it's not helping. It's not giving me nothing back. I'm still skinny. If anything, it's making my stomach a little more pudgy. You know, the fact that I'm just eating all the sugar and the sweets and the this and the that. So it's not really benefiting. So I might as well go just back to eating healthy how I do. And, you know, just do what I got to do with this skinniness and be cool with it and be comfortable with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was sick, you was a little thick, so it's like you ain't got it no more, and it's just gonna have to be fine, you know? So when I was pregnant, you know, my stomach was all stretched out, and when I had the baby, it shriveled up, you know how that do, and it lost its colors. You just lose your discoloration to your skin. It had been stretched out for so long. Now it's like it all got the snapback. And I don't even remember with my daughter how long it took for that snapback, but I do remember having a black stomach then too, and eventually it did go away. But right now my son is, what, 3 months, so I still have a little bit of the blackness going on, the discoloration going on. This is my stomach. It's black. It's stretched out from the side. It's like all that is still probably going back in or whatever. But it's 3 months. This is 3 months, y'all. Look at that. It's not nothing. Nothing. And it's flabby. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't even like this before my baby. It's real flabby. And it's just flat. It's still a little wide, they tell me. It's still a little wide. But it's flat. Ugh! I hate looking at it. I don't even, you know, now at this point, if I see a mirror coming, I'm going the other way. I don't even want to see it. Ugh. Like, it's terrible, terrible. It's not what I'm used to at all. But I make it work. I ain't insecure about it at all. I don't care, for real. Okay. Just woman to woman, I could talk to my honeys about anything, right? I prefer to have anything other than what this is going on here. But when I had my baby, I was so prepared. I had everything I needed for him and for myself as well. So basically, I had bought this mommy stomach belt thing. You know, the Velcro one that you would just and then you pull it tight like that, and then all that stuff. I wore it for a month and a half. Only time I took it off was when I got in the shower. I got in the shower, I took it off, put it right back on soon when I got out. I went to sleep in it. I wore that thing, ladies. Let me tell you, it don't got to be, it was a maternity one too, for after your baby. It don't have to be that. Anything that you want to put and snatch that waist, wear that baby. Because now at this point, you done had that baby. Everything is mushy and gushy in there. You can pull that off. You can use that and just melt and snatch that body how you would want it with that thing going. So I was very happy with those results. That's pretty much how I got that stomach to get even down like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have, I showed you the little skin around the navel. That's really it. But other than that skin, that stomach went down pretty good to me. I hope that my moms out there are definitely considering breastfeeding. And if there's anything you want to know about it that I left out, please, please, please ask me, because, you know, I have no problem with that, you know. But right now, I'm just winging it. It was all over the place, but I hope you guys get the point. And if you don't and you were confused about anything or however, just let me know, because we're out here, huh? So I'm going to try to leave everything in the description of what I talked about so far. I will see you guys on the next one. Because at the end of the day, honey, this hair, what lays up? What lays? This that Asteria hair, y'all. That wig, 24 inches. Deep wave. The more you play with it, the bigger it gets. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. This is for sure one, for real. Like, y'all know I don't know how to end no video. Let me know how y'all like my little background too, because I am definitely at the desk, honey. We at our desk, honey. Like, what? We in our chair. Ain't no more of them little cracking knees and all of that.